Hello, fellow edgy teen. Uh, I'm going to be talking about whatever I feel like, and I guess if you're bored or can't sleep, this will lull you to do so. I sometimes I feel like I'm just existing and doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm not really being a person. Like, I'm just being a student or a girlfriend or a band member or something, and I don't get to just come home and reflect, I guess, or just sit down and think. And so I do it at night, which is unhealthy because I don't sleep very much. But I guess everyone needs some time to think. I sleep a lot during the day. Actually, I'm usually really tired, which I feel bad about because I have friends that want to do things. Yeah, I have friends. Amazing, isn't it? I am tired of people, which is a really dumb thing to say, but I feel like they don't know what they're doing. I mean, not like in the, wow, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up, in the sense they're just so unself-aware. And, like, for example, there's these people in my class, and they just will, it'll be kind of a joke, but it'll mostly be someone saying something, and then they'll laugh at it and then just say it louder, and no one will laugh at it because they just somehow made it less funny, like Amy Schumer, you know, how she manipulates jokes like that. And sometimes they'll just be talking to nobody, like you're not sure exactly who they're trying to speak to, but they're just generally making weird noises or like saying random stuff that's directed at no one, and you wonder, do they know what they're doing? Like, are they doing this on purpose? Because they want to be liked. They're in high school. Everyone wants to be generally liked by some group of people, no matter if it's the popular crowd, which there really isn't in our school, or like the really gay people who like dye their hair, or the super edgy people who like pick up cigarettes off the ground and light them and smoke them. And those are real people at our school I'm describing, by the way. And my friends, I want to be liked by my friends. I like my friends. They're really weird and screamy and funny and loud, but they're all self-aware, which maybe isn't the best thing. It's hard to be happy when you're self-aware, I think. It's like you say something or you do something and you just think, why did I do that? I wish I didn't say that. That's not funny. And even if people are laughing at what you said, you still think, wow, I'm really not funny, in the back of your mind the entire time. Or you'll, I don't know, draw something. People will say, wow, that's really good. And you look at it and you're like, wow, this is really bad. And I don't know why I'm being praised for this. This is like the least amount of effort I put into something. And you want to be better, you do, but it's just hard to change, I think. And for me, I don't know how many people deal with this, but sometimes I'm on autopilot and something happens and I react to it in a way I think I'm supposed to be reacting to it, like a joke. And I'll make like the most unfunny joke I've ever heard, and people will laugh at it. And I don't know why they're laughing at it. And I wish I didn't say it. And now I don't like those people because they laughed at my joke because I think it's not funny and they have a bad sense of humor. But I'm literally the one that said it. So why am I judging these people for laughing at something I said? Because I'm a really bitchy person. I'm a bad person. But, okay, maybe not a bad person. I don't think there's just bad people and good people. there's just, we're all in-betweeners, I think. All the normal people. I hate Hitler. I don't think anyone, okay, I don't think a lot of people who are normal like him. And I don't want to go off on a rant about Hitler. I am historically Jewish, not religiously, but still I have family members who get very discussive, I don't know, at the dinner table about things like that, which is kind of scary when you're eating to talk about the Holocaust, but you know, sometimes that happens. And sometimes you see like on Tumblr where, like, I don't even have a Tumblr, I don't think. Maybe I do, I'm not sure. But I watch videos about people talking about things that happen on Tumblr, and a big thing for some reason is like the true crime community, where sometimes I'll just talk about serial killers and stuff like that, which I actually like. I like crime documentaries. I think they're interesting, like the psychology of it is really interesting to me. But there's people in that community, like a little subsection, I think, of these, I think mostly girls and maybe some gay guys, because there's not a lot of girl shooters out there, for schools anyway, where they just fantasize and write fan fictions and just, they see the worst things. Well, to a community they sound awful, but I guess they're nice to the dead person they're talking to. Of these school shooters, like the Columbine shooters, or just random ones that I think they're mostly schools actually, but they just say like, wow, I love them, look at how cute their smiles are, they're so sweet, like they were just hurt, they're misunderstood, and if I were there I could change them, I would be able to make them not do this awful thing that they did, but they're a genuinely good person. And it's like, these people have no clue who these shooters are. I know for a fact that the Columbine shooters actually hated anyone who wasn't a white guy. They did commit the shooting on Hitler's birthday on purpose. That wasn't like an accident. They were fascist, and all of those awful things that people in the media are called, but they're actually Nazis, self-proclaimed. And it's like, how could you ever it's disgusting, honestly, truly. I don't even remember what I was talking about before this. Oh yeah, I'm a bad person, that's what I said before I went on this tangent. I have a lot of friends who say they're horrible people for doing a certain thing, and it actually makes me angry. It's so bullshit. Shut up. No, it doesn't. You did something stupid because you're what, like 16 years old. I'm 16 years old. And you did something dumb. Alright. Great. You're still learning. This can help you later on so you're not dumb and actually hurt somebody. For real, not just like, you chipped my nail, or you broke my heart, I was in love with you, when you're like 14 years old and you don't know what that is yet. And I'm sure there's some couples who would have a really messy breakup like that. Like, I have two friends, actually, it's really weird that I'm friends with both of them after this certain thing happened. I actually didn't like the girl at all before it happened, but then I got to know her a little bit and I actually like her a lot. But they had an adult relationship, if you catch my drift. And when they broke up, it was, It was so bad. Like, they would ignore each other and then become best friends again, and then ignore each other again, and then have sex, and then ignore each other. And all this time, they're going through all these phases. This girl has a boyfriend. Yeah, so she cheated on him for a little bit of time. And it's just, it's so unhealthy. And I remember when this was happening, and he told me about it when they were still doing the little friends benefits thing on the side. He was a side hoe at the time. I was like, hey, she is chemically depressed and makes awful decisions, and we both know this because you dated her for like 7 months, and maybe, just my opinion, but you should break off the cheating thing. Even though you're not cheating on anyone, she is, and you're an accomplice to that and allowing her to do it. So say no and tell her why, and then maybe she'll want to be a good girlfriend. And he just said, well, like, I'm lonely, and, you know, she's offering, and blah, blah, blah. But it's your ex-girlfriend who you, a few weeks ago, were complaining about and calling her all these names, and I was, like, agreeing and letting you, because I actually didn't like her at the time. But then I met her after, and it was shoot. I like her a lot, but it's just, you know, a process, I guess, of knowing people. And I just, it was icky. It was gross to talk to him about that, when I've known both of them. I've known him for a pretty long time, and it felt like, even though I'm pretty sure she's the one that initiated this, I don't think he'd ever do that, but it feels like she's almost being taken advantage of a little bit. Not in, like, a rapey way, not at all. I love him, he's a great person. It's just, it's hard for a person who is low. Like, I say low, I don't mean, like, diabetic. I mean, like, dopamine level low. I'm not sure exactly what she has, I just know it's chemical because it's been there forever. And, I have a similar type of issue. And for people that have these lows, it's like nothing matters and you'll do anything to feel something. I would sneak out and walk around a little bit in the middle of the night, and I would feel like I would get an adrenaline rush, and I would just do it randomly. But again, it didn't really help me because I wouldn't sleep, so I stopped doing that. I'm on medication now. She's not, and I think she should be. But she just will make these rash decisions that I don't think she's thought through all the way, or she's not considering the ramifications of her actions, because she just wants to feel like she matters. And I think at the time this happened, she was in, like, a rough spot with her boyfriend, which, again, I'm not condoning cheating at all. I'm just explaining the situation. I think what she did was awful, and even though I like her as a person, I'm never going to be able to say what she did was right. And I talked to her a lot, and I talked to him a lot too. And they both, I feel, they can't tell people exactly what's going on because they don't want people to get word out. She definitely doesn't want her boyfriend to know. She doesn't even know I know she cheated. He told me that, actually. I keep almost bringing it up, but I choose not to because I don't want to hurt her. And I don't want her to think there's a bunch of people out there who know. Or feel like I might destroy her relationship, which is not my intention at all. There's a certain thing she keeps saying to me, and I actually understand it, and he keeps saying, oh, she's a crazy bitch, blah, blah, blah. But I honestly get it, and maybe that makes me a crazy bitch, but, I do understand what she's saying. she keeps saying, I know what he did to me was awful, which he did do a lot of pretty bad things to her, generally speaking, but she did a lot of bad things too. So it's not like even, it's not like fair. It's just something that happened. And she's like, even after all the things he said to me, I still love him. And I'm not sure exactly if she meant that in a romantic way or in a friend way. I think she means generally as a person in that context. But then she later goes on to say, I still feel that way about him sometimes, and I feel really bad because I have a boyfriend and I do love him. It's just sometimes, I feel that way and I hate myself for it. And I think a big reason that she feels that way is that she can't get over the first person she's been with romantically in an adult way. So it's like she still connects him with being that kind of person to her, and it's hard to think of someone anyway, but in a relationship context, when you've been with them in a relationship, like if I broke up with my boyfriend right now and then I wake up the next day, I would not be able to be friends with him ever, I don't think, because we are an adult relationship and it would feel wrong. I would just feel like jealous and angry and sad that he would ever be moving on or ever feel okay without me, and that's jealous and needy and awful. And if something like that would happen, I would want him to move on. I just wouldn't want to see it. And I think that's how she feels, even though she's obviously moved on, like right after they broke up, which is a little suspicious, but whatever. He's also moved on now. He does have a girlfriend, and she actually actually likes his girlfriend, who doesn't, but it's like, it's over. Like, this isn't a fight anymore. It's just over. And now that it's over, what do? You just ignore them? Because I think they're really trying, but they can't. Like, they're just drawn to saying anything to each other, and it just ends up being awful and just verbally abusive. And there's never going to be a way to solve it, because someone's going to get in trouble. And it's probably going to be him, my friend. Because he's been in trouble before. They're going to think it's his fault. Everyone's blaming him. That's on the girl's side. Like, her boyfriend doesn't know what's really going on and is just blaming him for hurting her, just in general. And it's just, he doesn't do that much. Like, the boyfriend does initiate like a lot of fights, which is obnoxious, and he needs to stop doing that. If he's like, maybe he should just ignore us. Like, he can't when you're charging at him. What are you doing? But I'm not choosing sides in the situation. It's just hard, and I don't really have anyone to talk about it, because I don't want to spread rumors. I don't want to do anything like that. Even though I did get them from primary sources, they would still be rumors nonetheless, because they would form. I just don't know how to help them at this point. And the only thing I can really do is just listen. It's the only thing I've been doing, because I don't want to get actually involved. It's none of my business, honestly. I've seen how people try to help them, which is basically helping one of them and destroying the other person's life, which is not what I want to do at all. I like both of them. One of them I'm a little bit better friends with, but I do love her too. It's just, I just am more experienced with. That sounds weird. I've known him longer, and I know he's honest with me. There's no reason he wouldn't be, but she has a lot of things to hide. So I'm I guess I'll just end it here. I've been talking about them for a really long time, which I feel is kind of weird. Who knows, you know? Uh, you never really know what someone's going through until you ask. So getting the full story from both sides is incredibly hard to do when some of them contradict each other, and it's oh man.